After the tragic deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa at their home in New Mexico, we're taking a closer look at Hantavirus, the disease that took Arakawa's life. Dr. Nicholas Turner from Duke says it's a disease carried by rodents like deer mice and certain species of voles and rats, most common in the southwestern U.S., where Arakawa died.
And what happens is their droppings can contaminate the dust or fecal matter of these mice. And when that gets stirred up and people breathe it in, that's how we catch the disease.
Dr. Weber from UNC Chapel Hill says the symptoms of the virus are relatively common.
The symptoms, they start off with things like fatigue, fever, muscle aches. And after several days, about half will go on to develop headache, dizziness, chills, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. And some of them will then go on to develop the pulmonary syndromes of cough and congestion and filling up the lungs, fill up with fluid.
Dr. Turner says he's only aware of one case of hantavirus ever officially confirmed in North Carolina. So if you get those symptoms, it's likely something else.
The beginnings of flu A and hantavirus would look very similar. It's worth reminding people that in North Carolina, flu A is going to be far and away the most common cause of those symptoms.
And though it's more common in the Southwest, it's still a rare disease with only around 850 cases across the country in the last 20 years or so. Dr. Weber says he doesn't think people in North Carolina should be worried much about hantavirus. He says a different disease should be on our radar.
I'm really concerned about measles.
With the first death from measles in a decade just happening in Texas in an unvaccinated child without underlying conditions, and a possible second death in an unvaccinated child now reported out of New Mexico, Dr. Weber warns that we should be paying close attention to this disease as outbreaks grow.
It's not a question of if you'll see measles in those areas, but only a question of when. And this is because of less people getting immunized.
In Durham, Sydney Schofield, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.